I just reviewed the Max Fix Plus, and I told you guys that I was gonna do my own DIY setting spray. You guys have seen me use this in my foundation routine that I filmed a couple weeks ago. You guys have seen that, so I just wanted to come on and show you guys how I made my own setting spray, and it's pretty easy. As I said, in the Max Fix Plus, it's the main ingredients are just glycerin, water, the cucumber extract, and caffeine. For $26, I think that we could definitely, this setting spray that I made could definitely do all that this product here does. So it would be like a personal choice for somebody who wants to use the MAC or make it themselves. However, I'm not sure, maybe upon finishing this, if I have a change of heart about it, I will repurchase it. But for now, I have a setting spray that it's not really a setting spray, it's more like a face decaker. Let me not say setting spray, but everybody just calls it setting spray, so it's setting spray, but it's not really a setting spray. It's something I use to share up my foundations. As you guys know, I use Black Opal, and it's a heavy coverage foundation. It's a cream stick foundation, it's not liquid. So I use this, you guys see me use this in my foundation video to just share out my foundation so it glides on my face easily and doesn't look like cakey on my face. It gives that natural finish. So yeah, I will put the ingredients for the recipe for this setting spray down below in the description box. Always open my description box. I'll have like everything that I didn't mention in the video will be down there. So the exact recipe will be down there. So basically I use 5 things to make this setting spray. So here I go. The first thing is water. I use water. You can boil. I couldn't bother to boil the water when I was making this. Yeah, I know it was bad because, especially if you're in Jamaica, they put a lot of chlorine in the water. So you should boil it or filter it, or if you have that kind of cash, you can buy bottled water and use it. I think it will make kind of a difference because, you know, the chlorine in it kind of makes the water more dense, while if you boil it, you know, it gets rid of the impurities and so on. So yeah, water. The second thing was the glycerin. Now glycerin is a must when making these sprays. Although the glycerin, the amount of glycerin you put into the product determines the kind of finish you get for the product. If you're somebody who likes a matte look, and when I say matte, I mean like not anything shiny, just anything, just make your face look really cool and just, you know, just flat, that kind of look. I don't know how to explain it, but a dewy finish kind of gives that glow to your face. You know, you can kind of see, you know, some shimmers on your face and so on. So the glycerin kind of determines how much glycerin you put into it, determines the kind of finish you want. So I have oily skin, so I never ever go for a dewy finish. Maybe because I don't really think it fits me for now, but I never go for a dewy finish because even when I do matte finishes, by the time I go on the road, I eventually start to look dewy because, you know, my pores open up and my skin begins to get oily with the makeup, and so I don't really look, you know, nasty and stuff, but I start to look a bit dewy. Yeah, so the amount of glycerin you put really affects it. The second thing is witch hazel, and I'm going to go more in depth and talk about these products. I'm just telling you guys what I use. So the second product is witch hazel. Now this is optional. I just opted for witch hazel because of the conditions I have, and I'll tell you later on in the video. But you could use rose water. You could also use a vitamin E capsule. So those are some options that you can use instead of the witch hazel, if the witch hazel isn't for you after I explain to you guys. Alcohol, this is optional. A lot of people don't want to put alcohol on their skin. I don't have a problem with it though, but a lot of people don't want to put any alcohol on their skin. But the alcohol in this recipe is optional because the amount of glycerin you put in there also allows the mixture to be somewhat sticky. So adding a little bit of alcohol, not a lot, maybe like a little teaspoon or a tablespoon, kind of gets rid of that stickiness. So it's more like you don't really feel that, you know, stickiness on your face. So yeah, that's why the alcohol is optional. But if you don't mind that feeling on your face, kudos to you. You also will need a spray bottle. Now I use these little spray bottles, and these are 50 milliliter, and I think 50 milliliter is equal to 2 ounces. If I'm wrong, just comment down below, because I don't know. That's what I saw when I was buying this. This was 50 milliliter, and then they had slash 2 ounces. So I got 3 bottles of these. I don't know where the other bottle is now. So the recipe that I have down below, let me just tell you about that first. The recipe that's down below, I mixed it and it filled this bottle completely. After I began using it on my face, I realized that it was too sticky. So what I did was I got a second bottle and I poured half the mixture in here and half here. So I had both half bottles here. Then I filled the bottle the rest of the way with water. Each bottle the rest of the way with water. And I got rid of that stickiness. My face, it was working fine after I did that. So just bear that in mind, that this recipe that I have below, after putting it in this 50 milliliter bottle, it was a bit sticky. I mean, because it's a lot of product, it's a bit sticky and stuff. So I just divided it into another 50 milliliter bottle and just filled the rest up with water. So that's what I have in these bottles here. So remember the recipe down below. Fill this bottle, but I halved it and then fill the rest of the way with the water. Alright, so if you're in Jamaica and you're gonna buy the glycerin and the witch hazel or rose water, whatever you're gonna buy to put in there, you'll definitely see, or you'll most likely to see, the Benjamin's brand. So these are the brands this is the brand that you'll see in your supermarket, really, the pharmacy. This is the brand that you see in the pharmacy. And glycerin, I used to think it was for like babies, you know, to get rid of that thrust on their tongue. Yeah, it's kind of for that as well, but you know, they use it in makeup. So on the bottle here, funny enough, they have a list of uses for the glycerin, and they said it's a makeup removing agent. Funny enough. But they said it's also it's a moisturizing agent as well for the hands and body, and it treats topical burn. So that's the glycerin, and the price on this is $198 Jamaican dollars. That's the price on this. The next one is the witch hazel, and the witch hazel was $247. On here it says it's to be applied for insect bites and minor skin irritations. But I also researched the witch hazel before I decided to use the witch hazel, because as I said, I saw a lot of options. I saw the rose water, the vitamin E capsule, and the witch hazel. But the witch hazel to me was the best bet, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, it reduces the inflammation and pimples. So if you're somebody who has acne and like you just burst the acne or whatever, burst the pimple or whatever, witch hazel is pretty good. It reduces the inflammation on it, and it also helps the bump to get, you know, healed faster. It also shrinks under eye bags. Like, I suffer from under eye bags. You probably won't be able to see that right now, but yeah, you can see that I have bags under my eyes. So I definitely wanted to use that because it was for that as well. It also helps to tighten vicarious veins. So you ever look at somebody's foot, at the back of their foot there, and you see like those veins going up? This is good to tighten those as well and reduce like the pain. I have those as well, so this is why I even choose the witch hazel over all the other products. It helps with vicarious veins, the bags underneath the eyes, inflammation of pimples. It heals a bruise faster. It also removes excess oil from the face. As I said before, I have oily skin, so this product right here, all the reasons that I was seeing here on the internet, I just decided to go with it because it was so good for my skin. Lastly, it says it helps with a skin condition called eczema. Now, and when I was little, I used to have eczema, like really bad eczema, but I outgrew it. So all of these reasons that I found here were like they were just calling my, I was buy this product. So I went with the witch hazel. But if you don't want it for this, if you don't have bags or anything, you could use the rose water or the vitamin E capsule, as I said. For the glycerin is a humectant, and what a humectant means is that it absorbs water from other sources and seals it into the skin. So that is the reason why I said if you don't want to do it finish, you put less glycerin. If you don't want to do it finish, put less glycerin, because this is a humectant, so it draws water from other sources and stores it into the skin. So instead of giving you that matte look, your face will begin to look a bit dewy, a little more shiny. And if you're not going for that type of look, you want to put as little glycerin as possible. So the recipe down below, it gives me that dewy finish, but when I did what I said in the beginning of the video, it's just alright for my face. It doesn't like alter my foundation or anything. It just gets rid of that powdery look. I also use it to sheer up my foundation, like you guys saw me use it in the foundation video. Yeah, so those are the products that I use, and yeah, it's pretty good. For the MAC Fix Plus and this setting spray, they do the same thing. As I said, for the MAC Fix Plus, it can be used for pigment or your baked eyeshadows. I use this on my pigments and my baked eyeshadows as well, and it does the same thing that the MAC would have done. I used it to sheer up my foundations, and I would have used it for the MAC as well. So it's up to you guys ultimately, like what you want to use. If you want to go and spend that money on the MAC, or if you can't afford that right now, you can definitely use this recipe. And let me guys just show you how much I used. I just used these once, and this is just where the witch hazel is, and this is where my glycerin is. So I can make like 100 more products out of these, right? So the type of finish you want kind of helps to affect how you do your setting spray. So I'd basically say this is for oily skin. If you want more of a dewy finish, or if you have normal to combination skin, you can add more glycerin or whatever. But this just works for me for my oily skin, and I've used this product every single day that I wear my foundation, and it's good. Like, I don't have any complaints. It does the same thing that the MAC Fix Plus would have done. So yeah, just try it. You don't have anything to lose. Even if you don't like the setting spray itself, you can use the witch hazel for your bags or your pimples or your vicarious veins. You know, if you have babies at home, you can use your glycerin, so you won't lose. And it's way cheaper, because this was about, I spent a bit like $450 for these products. You know, water is free in your tap or whatever. And yeah, this didn't. I paid $2,600 for the MAC Fix Plus, and this didn't come to even like $1,000 as yet. This didn't even come to like $700 as yet. So you can definitely try that out if you can't afford the MAC right now and you are looking for an alternative option. This is really good. So yeah, I hope you guys really learned something from this video, and the next video that I'll be posting is my skincare routine video. I definitely want to do that video as well. If you have oily skin, I want to show you guys the products that I use and all of that, so you guys can just look out for that video. So I'll see you in my next one.